What is going on, you guys? It's Frank the Tank, and welcome to week number 10 of League. First things first, I'm going to be doing the rest of the video like this because it is freezing. We are officially in the winter time without a doubt. It's freezing in here, it's freezing out there, and I just can't with this cold weather. I honestly can't wait for the warm weather to come back because, I thought it'd be cool because, not too long ago we were like in this horrible heat wave, and I was like, I can't wait for this cold weather, and now here I am regretting it. So, yeah, hoodie on for right now and probably for the next 2 months or something. Who knows when this cold weather will go away, but anyway, there are a couple things that I want to talk about before we roll the clip. So first things first is I think that last week I said that I promised you guys another video of League because a friend of mine asked me to he asked me to sub on his team for Monday Night League because one of his guys was not going to make it. So I agreed to help him out, and I said I was going to try to record it. And unfortunately, that did not work out because I don't really want to get into detail about it because it will just make it sound like I'm blaming somebody, and there is nobody to blame because those people that I want to blame, they weren't doing anything wrong. They weren't violating any rules. They weren't doing anything wrong. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I don't even want to discuss it because no one's to blame, and I have no valid argument here. It does kind of suck though because when I was looking back at the footage for that Monday Night League, none of the footage was usable because of the issue that I felt I had with the thing that prevented me from being able to use the footage. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I don't want to get into it, and I'm going to leave that the way it is. So the next order of business is my form. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into detail with that either. I think it's better that I show you guys during the actual League video what changes are being made and how much better things are getting. I've been working on my release. It's been getting a lot better. I figured out one little thing that actually made a huge difference. Again, I'll get into that when we get into the League video. I'm able to keep my hand behind the ball a lot more because of that change. Footwork, little by little, it's getting better, and balance at the foul line was another big issue, and I've been working on something thanks to my PSO who pointed out this issue that I had and how to correct it. I've been working on that too, and I've been able to post a lot more at the foul line. You guys are going to see that too. So I'll get into detail on that when we roll the clip. Okay, so our last order of business before I roll the clip is a comment that was left on last week's video that I want to talk about. And before I actually read the comment, I want to get you up to speed here if any of you didn't watch last week's video, so you understand fully what is going on here. So last week, we went up against a team that ended up pulling a card that I didn't expect. And because I didn't expect them to pull this card, I ended up not doing anything fancy with the with the equipment that I brought. I ended up bringing two solid symmetricals, which were like, one was a mid-level ball, the other was a low-performance ball, and I also brought a low-performance hybrid cover symmetrical ball. And I was flabbergasted when I showed up for League and the other team showed up and they started using, two of their guys started using urethane and just totally messing up my line. And yeah, none of the three bowling balls that I had were made to combat whatever it is that the damage that was being done, I guess we could say. So yeah, I ended up struggling throughout the night because of that, and also because I sucked. I was there. It wasn't completely because of the urethane balls that were being thrown down the lane. A part of that was also because of my really bad form, and also how my mental game was just trash that night. I was making a lot of bad shots. So not long after that video was posted, a comment made by Booyah CS came about, and this comment reads, "To combat urethane, ball up to a big reactive ball and play over the urethane, basically like a proton physics, moving a touch right, keeping it in front of you, and using the big engine to get it through the oil."
Genius.
You know what? I gotta say that is genius. That's pretty good. I never would have thought of that myself. I mean, let's think about this for a second, okay? By having the proton physics or having any kind of ball like that can combat heavy oil, that technically you can kill two birds with one stone. Because you see, let's just talk about the proton physics because it is a perfect example of a ball that can handle heavy oil. That kind of ball, I can use it on the fresh if I wanted to. And also, if somebody were to use urethane and create a mesh down lane, I can continue using that ball because it's perfect for that. When that mess is created, that puddle is created down lane by the urethane, because we need to remember urethane doesn't absorb into the cover stock like normal strike balls do. It takes that oil and moves it down lane and creates a mess down lane. So a proton physics would be perfect for that. Or any really high performance ball that can handle heavy oil patterns. So you know what, Booyah CS, that is very well thought out. I'm very, major respect to you. Seriously, that is so good. I like that. So that gives me an idea, and that idea requires all of your guys' help. So because I'll be honest with you, I'm actually I'm stumped here. I'm lost with my arsenal. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to take, and I think it's been pretty obvious that I don't know what I'm doing with my arsenal. So yeah, that's what I want you guys to do is down in the comments section. Let's build an arsenal. And, I don't want to say a permanent arsenal because, I want it to have, room for some changes because remember, I have a bunch of stuff and new stuff keeps getting created. So, yeah, I want you guys to help me build an arsenal here of bowling balls that you think I should be taking to league. So keep in mind, when you are doing this, I want you to tell me, when you are telling me what kind of bowling ball, it needs to be able to do just more than one thing, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, what Booyah here said, that's a perfect example of that. A proton physics, it can do more than just one thing out on the lane. It's perfect on the fresh, and if somebody were using a urethane ball, that's I can still use it to combat that. So that's 2 in 1 right there. That's perfect. So something like that. So tell me what type of bowling ball I should take. If you have to name a certain bowling ball to make it clear what you want to say, then go for it. But you don't have to. But yeah, tell me what type of bowling ball and tell me why. That's basically what I want you guys to do. And then, of course, I'm going to be reading this stuff. So, yeah, that's what I want you guys to do. Help me build an arsenal. Go down in the comment section. Tell me what types of bowling balls you think I should take and why. And remember, it has to be able to do more than one thing out on the lane or serve more than one purpose, I guess. So, as of right now, I think the proton physics is definitely a must because it does more than one thing. And then I think the pitch black, because of what happened last week, is a second one. So, that's 2 bowling balls that are staying in the bag for league, and all you guys have to do is just help me come up with more ideas for what bowling balls to take. So that is basically all I wanted to discuss with you guys, and now I guess we can go ahead and roll the clip. Okay, you guys, so here we go. Week number 10 on lanes 13 and 14. So, after the 10 minutes of practice, I made the decision to start with the Flux because it was the one that gave me the best look. So, I did what I usually do. Flux on, I believe it was 21. Pretty good form. It was kind of a light hit. It wasn't a convincing pocket hit, but, it struck. So yeah, on that right lane, you couldn't really see it because that guy was blocking the view, but yeah, I got that one a little bit too far to the right, and that's why it, luckily it returned, but yeah, it came back light, luckily it struck, and yeah, this Flux, it's been a while since we've seen it, but the reason why it's been such a long time since we last saw this ball is because ever since they made that change to the oil pattern, or I guess you could say added more oil, the Flux has been unplayable on these lanes. So, but, I've gotten the hang of things now, and I thought, let's try to bring it back and see if we can manage things a little better, because my game falling apart played a part in why some bowling balls were reacting so badly. But right there, I went left the target off my hand and went Brooklyn. But hey, with 2 in a row, doesn't matter how, it matters how many, right? So on right before I was taking this shot, I thought that I was thinking about what I wanted to do, but I found that I actually wasn't thinking at all. I just went for it, and as you can see, that's what ended up happening as a result. I wasn't thinking at all. I just went for it, but I swear I thought I was thinking, but I wasn't. I was blank, and that was beyond left. That was horrible. Clearly, you could see where it ended up when it got down there. That goes to show you I got it way left. That's probably the most left I've ever been. So I tried to go for it. Now, if all the pins were there, technically I would have, I think we all know what would have happened. That 10 pin still would have stood there. That was a light hit. So that messenger, sadly, I think we all saw that. It didn't help at all. So. Now, the form looked pretty good, but unfortunately the shot was not. I got that one too far to the right. Alright, so on this shot right here, I fell off just a bit. I don't know that I want to say that I stuck right there, but you know what? It struck, though, in the end. The shot seemed pretty good, but unfortunately, 10 pin. But that right there was the indication for me that maybe the shot was good, but I'm probably not standing in the right spot. So after that one, I thought to myself, okay, maybe let's move a half a board, and I think that will solve the problem. But now I want to kind of discuss with you those changes that I've made, or the progression in those changes. So let's actually take a look at this shot again. Slow it down for you. Let's take a look. So you could see, let's start with the footwork. As you could see, I'm still keeping my steps close together. I don't want to let them get too far apart, because doing that leaves more room for me to slide and to be able to finish that slide perfectly. Because if I, put too much distance in my steps, that leaves less room for me to slide, and that also plays a factor in why I fall off at the foul line so much. So, yeah, still kind of got to work on that pivot step, or whatever we want to call it. Still kind of getting too far away from me, and it's not really. I don't put it in the right spot either. So, luckily the slide still comes out okay. And then moving up, let's talk about that thing that I said, that change that I made that led to me being able to release the ball properly. My left hand, where I position it on the ball, I now have it more like towards the, I want to say, if you guys watch Chris Vi, the way he holds the ball, like go to the 2021 PBA season where he made a bunch of TV shows, watch where he puts his left hand. He puts it way like on the right part of the ball. Now, I saw that and I thought, let me try that. It felt awkward, but despite how awkward it felt, it helped. It helped me keep my hand more on the inside part of the ball. It was so weird. And I remember suddenly, way back in like the 2011, 2012 year when Belmo was bowling on the PBA Tour, he used to do that too. He used to put his hand there, but since then he kind of changed it up a little bit and he made it work for himself. But yeah, I tried that and it made a huge, huge difference. Take a look. You're actually going to see my hand right here on, let's see, right about there. You see that? It's more on the right side of the ball, and doing that helps me keep my hand more behind instead of more here. Which leads to me going up the side of the ball. But yeah. See, despite the fact that you see my hand move just a little bit to the side, it stays on that back part, and I don't end up on the side. My fingers end up staying behind as well. And I end up letting go of the ball more behind it. So, and I know this because when the ball came back to the ball return, all the track flare was to the left of the middle finger. It wasn't on the middle finger. So progression, guys. Those changes really help. It's crazy how changing one small thing can lead to a bunch of lead to correcting a bunch of things. And then, of course, how I think I mentioned how I said I'm trying to keep my shoulders, my chest area more upright instead of parallel to the floor. You can definitely see that here. See that? Shoulders, chest area, even though you're behind me, you could see it definitely, I'm definitely like keeping it up more to be able to have better balance at the foul line. And doing that, look at that. It led to me having my knee bend back. And then the trail leg is also a little bit lower to the floor. It used to be way more like up here because my shoulders were down. So yeah, knee bend came back because of this, and balance is looking a lot better because the shoulders and the chest area are now more up at my target. So things look good. Things are looking a lot better. I still haven't gotten 100% the hang of it, but it's getting there. Looks like I gotta get practicing my 10 pins and pretty much all my other spares as well. So on that shot, form, not the greatest, but it struck. So something I forgot to mention in that shot on the right lane that you guys just saw, I actually moved to 20 and a half on the right lane as well, because I thought whatever happened on this left lane would happen on this right lane as well. And it worked out pretty nicely, so I thought, okay, 20 and a half on both lanes is what's is going to be the play here. So here we are on the left lane on 20 and a half now. Fell off, I leaned into it too much. Got it to the right, and yeah, another frame without a strike. How nice. So on this shot right here, I actually thought to pick my spare ball up and try to go for it, but then I thought, nah, it seems a little too difficult. So hooked at it. Worked out in the end. No open. Alright, so on this shot right here, it led to me making a decision about something. See that? Left of target. I don't want to say that I was afraid of getting the ball to the right because I was afraid of guttering or anything. It's just that being on board 20 and a half, like I said I was, it just, I don't know, it made me feel like the window was really small, you know? The space was really small, and I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to get myself to execute a good shot lined up on 20 and a half. So I felt like the best thing to do for me mentally was to, and physically I guess, was to move left, pick up the proton, and make that space bigger. So, since it was already the 10th frame, I made the decision to do the change now. I switched to the proton physics, and I believe I stood on 22 for this. Form was okay. Shot, that one, obviously, as you could see, hit kind of light, and I don't know why, because I don't know, that one was just really weird to me. Because the shot looked good. I set it on the path that I wanted to, but the fact that the ball hardly wanted to turn, it was kind of a mystery to me. Could have been the way I let it go. And also that I did have a little more speed on it, because I did look up at the monitor to see my speed, and I saw that I put a lot more juice on it than I usually do. So the second shot was way better, in my opinion. As you can see, it hit the pocket properly, but unfortunately, stone 8. That's painful. Okay, so we started game 1 pretty low, 166 to begin things, which kind of sucks. But going into the second game, I decided that the proton was going to be the choice for this game 2. So because of what I saw in that 10th frame, I decided, okay, we're going to try board 21 and a half. So we're moving a half board. And then because I hadn't tried the proton on the right lane, I thought, okay, let's try board 22 on the right when we get there. And unfortunately, I messed up right there, and I threw that ball way to the right, never returned. And in fact, that one looked like it just had forward roll on it. It had that hook stop kind of thing to it. So definitely let it go the wrong way. And I just leaned too much into that one and I fell off. And if that wasn't enough, I ended up doing it 2 times. How nice is that? So here we go, trying the proton on the right lane now, see how it works out. And unfortunately, I got it left of target. And I know it didn't look like it, but it was. Trust me, I could see from my point of view that I got it on top of that 8-9 board way too early. And no hold whatsoever. Alright, so on this shot, I noticed a little something. Check this out. Watch this ball. I didn't get it too far to the right. It looked pretty good. And it just didn't come back. So, I didn't know what, I didn't really know what else to do. I mean, I could have kept moving to the right, but then it suddenly hit me, oh yeah, I brought my urethane ball this time. I could probably just use that. So I thought to myself, the next time I get on this left lane, I'm going to pick up the urethane ball. So, yeah, and then obviously I threw a bad shot on the right lane with the proton, so I didn't know for sure if I was going to continue with the proton on this right lane, so I still had to do that. Yeah, unfortunately I missed that easy spare because I messed up my release there. It felt like the ball just slipped off my hand, but I don't know. Don't know how to explain that one, but on that shot right there, I felt like I just didn't launch it out right enough, and I mean, you could see it did kind of end up on like the 11-10 board, which technically isn't right enough. That's considered left of target, at least to me, and what I left there and where the ball hit the pins, that's kind of an indication of that. Okay, you guys, so here we go, about to use a pitch black on the left lane, and I gotta say, I had no idea where I was gonna stand when I used this ball. Because you see, the thing is that I used to line up on board 10 with the pitch black, and the reason for that was because of how I was letting go of the ball. It wasn't able to roll properly going down the lane because of my release being incorrect. Like I said, before I used to get up the side of the ball, and that would cause the ball to roll over the middle finger. And that would affect how the ball would react when it rolls down the lane. And in fact, I think that night where I was using urethane for all 3 games, I can't remember what week that was. That was right there. I think I was lined up on like 10 or 11 because of my incorrect release. It affected the ball motion. So now here we are, and obviously I've made those corrections, and now I'm able to let go of the ball properly. I'm able to keep my hand more behind the ball. And I tried out the pitch black to see if these changes would work for this pitch black, and it did. I took the pitch black to practice, tried out this change that I made to my hand position with my left hand, and the ball was actually rolling. It wasn't rolling over the finger hole anymore, the middle finger. It was actually to the left of the middle finger, as it should be, and this, as a result, led the ball to curve more down lane. So I had to now move more left. I've had to change. I've had to find a new spot for where to line up with this pitch black. I'm no longer on board 10 as a result. The problem is that I hadn't figured it out yet. So here I went, about to throw this pitch black on the left lane, not knowing where to stand, because again, I didn't know. So I just made a guess. I thought to myself, let's try 15. You see, like, look right there. You can see me making that change. I'm like, let's try 15 and see where that takes us. Tried it out, and it was perfect. I thought, okay, I guess board 15 is the board. All right, so here I go back on the right lane, again with the proton. And another terrible release. You could actually see, like, well, I mean, at full speed it was kind of a little difficult to see, but I don't know. Most of you could probably tell, even at full speed, when the release is incorrect. And that one right there, Not only was it a bad release, it went right of target, didn't come back, and now I have what I think should be considered a split, but because the head pin is there, it's not considered a split. Alright, so here we go back on the left lane, same thing as before, 15. Really well done, but that one right there, actually, you could see it wasn't necessarily correct. You could see, watch. See that? I didn't necessarily get it. I got it a little bit more left of my previous shot. My last one, the one that actually struck properly, was more to the right. That one, I want to say, was more in the oil. Luckily, it curved a little bit, and you know, you could see the deflection there when it hit the pocket. And there you go, hallelujah. I finally found the shot with the proton on this right lane. Now, from my point of view, that shot on the right lane, it looked a bit left to me, but it looked like there was some hold down lane. So that kind of had me thinking, do I want to switch to the pitch black on this right lane as well? I don't know. I was feeling conflicted, but, you know, I just stuck to the plan and kept the proton on the right, and while I stuck with the pitch black on the left. That one right there, that was what I felt should have happened the last time I was on this left lane. And what I thought should have happened ended up happening here. Like, that one looked to me like it just sat in the oil. I kept it on that 8-9 board like I wasn't supposed to. And as a result, never really turned. It did turn a little bit, but not too much. Alright, so because of what I felt I saw the last time I was on this right lane, I felt the need to make a half board move. So I went from 22 down to 21 and a half and tried that out to see what would happen. And with that one, I felt it was a little too straight. You know, it looked like it was on the, I got it on the 8-9 board a little too early and went through the nose as a result. So I basically was thinking, okay, let's not do that again. Let's try to get that ball a little bit more to the right, but not too much to the right. Because the window to miss here is clearly very, very small. So I told myself what I was going to do, and I went for it. See that? A little more to the right, and then I got it. That was the one. So we ended up finishing that game with a 170. Still mediocre. I mean, higher than the first game, but still, 170 for my skill level, that's low. So, but you know, because of that last shot in the 10th, I thought, okay, we have our tactic: proton on the right, pitch black on the left. So we kept it on 21 and a half there, and that one entered the pocket with some angle, but you know, luckily it all, you know, it looked like a high hit, but luckily it all worked out. So on this shot right here, the tactic remained unchanged until I saw this. Stood on 15, came back light, just, and I thought, okay, time to move a board over. Yeah, on that one right there, I felt I got it on top of that 8-9 board a little early again. And I'm not going to lie when I say I was really beating myself up after this one, because I thought, like, split, 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 split. Like, I can't even string strikes together anymore. Like, it's been quite a while since I don't even remember the last time I got a ham bone. Like, clearly stringing strikes is just not meant to happen for me. I was beating myself up. I was thinking all of these things. But that one kind of restored my confidence a little bit. Okay, so like I said, what happened on this left lane, the ball barely returned, so I thought to move from 15 to 14. Even better. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this shot right here, everything about it to me was good. It felt good off my hand. Form was good. I played it on the line I wanted to, and look at that. That is such a light mixer. Okay, so after that shot on the right lane, I then thought to myself, you know what, to heck with this. I'm not going to move any more to the right with this Proton. I'm going to pick up the Pitch Black instead. So, yeah, that Proton, as you could see, went bye-bye, and it was time to start using the Pitch Black on the right lane. And I thought, okay, well, I'm on 14 here, but I doubt that whatever's happening on the left will happen on the right. So I thought, let's try 15 on the right lane, and then keep doing what we're doing on the left. Not the best form at the foul line. And that one was a lot slower on the speed. As you can see, I gave it a little too much time, and I ended up leaving the 9-pin. So once I stood up on this right lane, and I thought about that shot that I had with the Proton, it made me, change my mind about being on 15, and I changed to 14 like I was doing on the left lane. So I tried 14 and hoped for the best. Went for it, and that was the shot I was looking for. So I thought, okay, we got a game plan for the rest of this game. Fell off on it, but it worked. Just gotta keep calm and keep her going. Okay, so we have made it to the 10th frame, and I honestly was relieved at this point. I didn't even feel the pressure going into this 10th because after that strike in the 9th, I thought we've got a solid 200 game here to finish the night. Thank God, because, you know, it's a great shot right there. Really well placed. But yeah, I thought to myself, like, it has been a while since I last got a solid 200 game. And I felt like the pressure really was on to try to do this because, you guys know I've been struggling for weeks now, and yeah, this one definitely was like weight lifted off the shoulders, I guess. So yeah, I knew after that I was like, we got it. We got our good game. I mean, I know the series wasn't going to be high because of the 170 and the 166 that I got, but I'm just glad that I'm still, you know, capable of getting those 200 games. I felt like I was never going to be able to get 200 games again. But on that one, I fell off, and as you can see, I was hoping for the best, but unfortunately, the way it hit the pocket left the 10. And unfortunately for me, my lack of spare practice came to get me right there. I did kind of stick a little bit, but you know what? That's no excuse for my bad spare shooting. Okay, everybody, so that is how we wrap up week number 10. An improvement from last week, but, you know, the fact that I'm still, you know, struggling to even get back in the 600s is, yikes. That's all. That's the only word I could think of to summarize that, but, yeah, relief is definitely the word here, since I was able to finally put in a good 200 games. So, yeah, game 1, 166. Not a great start, and then game 2 we went up a bit, but still that's still pretty mediocre that I could only get 170 there. But luckily we managed to rescue it with a 243, because I'm fully convinced that if I didn't get my stuff together in that last game, this series would have probably been far lower than last week's, as you can see, which was 544. But we went up to a 579, and the series required to raise my average +1 would have had to be 601, but I didn't do that. And the pin total is now 5,828 after 30 games played. That keeps my average from plummeting, but it doesn't raise it, and we stay at 194. But if you want to get precise about this stuff, as you can see, last week's average was .40, and we went down to 0.26. So a very, very slight plummeting of the score there. But I don't care about that part on the other side of the decimal. But yeah, the highest game continues to be the 256 that I got in week 1, and then that 636 that I got who knows when. And that is how we close out week number 10. So, yeah, I definitely did feel a whole hell of a lot better in this week because, you know, like I said, the footwork is better, form at the foul line, the whole approach overall, the release, everything. It's just feeling a lot better, and I think we're finally going to get back into the getting those high series again, and Like I said before, you guys put down in the comments section bowling balls that you guys, the types of bowling balls that you think I should be taking to league. And keep in mind, I want you to make sure that when you are, you know, thinking about this, make sure that the bowling ball that you think I should take, should be able to, have it should be able to do more than one thing. It shouldn't be just, oh, this ball can only do this one thing for you. I want it to be able to have more than one purpose, I guess. So yeah, think about that. And thank you very much, Booyah yes, for that really good comment that you left, because I never would have thought of that. That really helped out. And yeah, there we go. That's how we wrap up week number 10. And now back to the drawing board, practicing the spares and everything else, making sure the form keeps getting better and better. And I'm kind of really excited for week 11, because I want to see if this stuff really works out in the end. So I'm Frank the Tank, and I will see you guys in week number 11.